So this is the Fitbit Versa 2. Now, ironically, when I first started my channel, my very first video was about the Fitbit Versa 1. Now, I've come a long way since that first video, but has Fitbit come a long way with their new Versa? We're going to find out in this video. Let the download begin. So if you're new here and you want to learn how to use and troubleshoot your devices, plus some other cool tech stuff, we can help. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications so you don't miss when we release some cool, helpful content. So the way we're going to tackle this video is we're going to kind of just jump into what the differences between the Versa 1 and Versa 2 is. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Versa 2, what I like, what I don't like, and if I can recommend it or not. So one of the main differences always is going to be the screen, and Fitbit has changed the screen from the Versa 1 to the Versa 2. Gone is that LCD display. Now you have an AMOLED display that's going to give you deeper blacks and richer colors and just makes the screen look a lot better, especially when you use some of the cool watch faces that they offer with this watch. They're very colorful and they look awesome. The display on the Fitbit Versa 2 is actually slightly larger than the Versa 1, and it's surrounded by Gorilla Glass 3, so it's really sturdy, it's really durable, and especially since it's a fitness kind of workout watch, you want it to be as sturdy as possible so it doesn't get scratches when you're either running, jogging, weightlifting. A fitness nut like myself can get into a lot of trouble scratching the watches that I have because I do a lot of high intensity workouts. The Gorilla Glass 3 really comes in handy and helps to prevent you from scratching or damaging the watch itself while you're actually using it in the wild. It still has a touchscreen, basically the same as the Versa 1, but the Versa 1 had 3 buttons while this one only has 1 button that functions as your main menu button, go back button. It basically does everything that the 3-button configuration did into 1 button plus the touch screen. So you're losing some buttons, you're gaining some screen, you're gaining some screen strength with the Gorilla Glass 3, but now you only have 1 button to play with. And it has access to Amazon Alexa, which is actually a really cool feature. It's basically a virtual assistant on your watch. I think now we're all kind of used to having virtual assistants on our phones and our watches. So the inclusion of Amazon Alexa onto the Fitbit Versa, it's a nice pairing of 2 companies working with each other. Everybody's kind of familiar with Alexa and everybody's kind of familiar with Fitbit. You can use Alexa to do anything that Alexa would normally do. Now you have it on the Fitbit Versa itself. So now with all of that out of the way, all the tech stuff, let's get to what I actually liked about the watch itself. I liked the watch. I actually like the way it was designed. I like the way it feels. I actually like the really square face of the watch itself. We'll get into part of the display that I didn't like, but the overall design of the Versa is very sleek. It's very lightweight. The Versa 1 was lightweight as well. This one does feel a little bit heavier on the wrist, but it's one of those watches that when you put it on and you have it on, you kind of forget that you have it on, which is not a bad thing, especially when you're exercising or running. You don't want to feel anything kind of weighty holding down your hands as you're moving, so it kind of blends into its environment, if you want to say. It feels really nice on your wrist. It looks really nice on your wrist. It has interchangeable bands, so you're not stuck with the specific bands that it comes with. You can change it out. Fitbit offers a variety of different bands that will match any kind of outfit or attire or environment that you're going into, so you can actually just switch that up accordingly. But I really like the design of this watch. I think it was designed really well, with one exception, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I really like the design. So the battery life on this thing is phenomenal. I charged this thing on a Saturday. It's now Friday and I'm still at like 40%. So that's just insane how much battery life this thing gives off, especially when it comes to smartwatches that are notoriously bad at battery life. This is definitely a huge plus for the Versa 2. And since Fitbit is a fitness company app, its bread and butter is its tracking ability, and this watch does a fantastic job of tracking your movements, tracking your exercises. I think one of the biggest pet peeves I have is usually when people have fitness tracking devices, they only track certain exercises. Like they'll definitely track a jog or they'll definitely track a bike run, but they won't do so much to track weightlifting or they won't do so much to track calisthenics. But this watch actually does track a myriad of different exercises that you can do. So if you're a fitness nut and you're in a gym and you want as much information and numbers on tracking your fitness as possible, the combination of the actual Fitbit Versa device itself mixed with their Fitbit apps and the different trackings that it offers can give you a lot of information on the exercises that you're doing, how much you're progressing, how much you're degressing. You can really get lost in the numbers that this provides, and it can lead you to an overall healthier life. So I really like those features also. The Fitbit Versa app is really robust. It has a lot of information, especially for fitness nuts. So it's one of the key features I really like about this watch. And another thing I like is the price. Smartwatches have become extremely expensive. I mean, if you look at the Apple Watch or the Samsung Watch, those things are kind of up there into the $300 range. Fitbit Versa is about $199. It's $200 for everything that you're getting with it. It's actually a really good price. Considering the market right now, is actually a really good price. So I like that they're keeping the price low while still offering you some new things from the Versa 1. The price is always a feature for me. Price is always a tipping point because price matters to just about everyone who's not a millionaire or who is not rich. You do look at the price tag, so having it on a lower price level, that way people can actually afford it and have something comparable on their wrist that does everything they want to do is a really good benefit. So now what I didn't like about the watch, we're back to that screen again. Remember I told you there was something about the screen that I didn't like. They have all this real estate and all this cool Gorilla Glass 3 display on the screen, but they put these really big bezels around them, and I'm not a bezel guy. I like that phones are getting bezel-less, so I want watches to get bezel-less, and you have like the Apple Watch and the Samsung watches that have a smaller bezel real estate around it. This Versa has some really big bezels that kind of shorten up that beautiful screen a little bit too much for me. I wish they had kind of extended the bezels out just a little bit more, make it a little bit more pronounced, taking advantage of that screen real estate just a little bit more. The screen itself is still beautiful, I just don't like the bezels. And I think my biggest pet peeve with this watch is with Fitbit itself. There's a lot of features that aren't compatible with my phone. So I have the Samsung Galaxy Note 10, and there's some features that aren't yet compatible with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. I don't know if it's because it's a newer phone. I checked their compatibility list on their website, and there's a lot of new phones that are not on there. The iPhone 11 is not on there. The Samsung Galaxy S10 is not on there. So a lot of new phones are not on their compatibility list. You can still pair it with the phone, use it to track your fitness information, but sometimes you're not getting notifications, and that's a big thing with the smartwatch, is getting notifications, and the ability to not have to reach for your phone is a big thing. Your music doesn't quite sync up with the watch, and you're not able to control your music on the watch itself. That's another feature that's available but not yet compatible with the newer phones. So not so much a problem with the watch, I would say, more of a problem with Fitbit not getting their compatibility list updated and not getting this watch to be compatible with phones that are currently out. Even though they're brand new, they're currently out, they knew they were coming out, they should be ready and they should be compatible. There's no excuse for not having my phone have access to all the features that you guys have to offer. Come on, Fitbit, gotta get it together, guys. Can I recommend the watch? Yeah, I actually, again, really like the watch. I loved wearing it. I loved tracking my fitness information. I like the design, even though it had some bezels around the end, and even though it wasn't fully compatible with my phone, it did enough for me to be able to say, yes, I would definitely recommend it for the price that it's at. If you're a fitness nut, if you're somebody who loves being in that gym life, you love tracking your exercises, you love your watch telling you you're not moving enough, get up and move a little bit, then this watch is definitely a good recommendation for you. For something that's a little bit more feature packed, maybe it doesn't have all those advanced features that like the Apple Watch does or the Samsung Watch does, but it falls in that middle ground in a lower price range. So I would definitely recommend it to someone who's not looking to spend so much money on a fitness band, but wants a fitness band that's a little bit more upgraded than the regular fitness bands that just track your movement. This does do a little bit more, and if you have a compatible phone, it does a lot more for a good price. So this one is a recommend. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Are you planning to get the Versa 2? Do you already have it? Share those thoughts in the comment section below this video. And if you guys have any questions about the watch at all, share that in the comment section as well. This is going to be like watch week for us. We have the Apple Watch Series 5, Series 4, and the Versa. We're going to do videos on all of that. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel with your notifications on so you know when we drop those watch videos. We're going to compare all three of them later on. And for now, this video is going to be that very first video I've done on the channel about the Fitbit Versa 1. You guys can check that out, and this is something that YouTube believes you'd enjoy watching. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you don't miss when we release some cool, helpful content like this one. Until next time, guys, peace.